You know that feeling, right? That meeting invite pops up. You see this, like, endless agenda, and you just, get that wave of dread.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or maybe you're in the meeting and it's topic after topic, but you know your point isn't going to land, or maybe, like, half the room's checked out already.
It's almost like watching paint dry, isn't it? For mandatory paint drying.
Exactly. And you walk out thinking, what did we actually do?
It's such a common frustration. These traditional meetings, they can be so rigid. The preset agenda often just misses the mark on what people really need to talk about now.
Right. So, okay, imagine if you could kind of flip that script. What if there was a way, maybe surprisingly simple, structured, but totally agendaless, to make discussions actually relevant
Yeah.
and engaging?
It sounds like the dream for a lot of teams.
Well, that's what we're diving into today, Lean Coffee. Our mission here is to unpack it, what it is, how it works, and when it can really shake up your meetings. We're aiming to give you a shortcut, basically, drawing from our sources with maybe some surprising facts and real practical tips.
It's a fascinating concept, honestly, especially if you're trying to make that collaborative time count for more. The real power seems to be in how it shifts control to the group itself.
Okay, so let's unpack that core idea, Lean Coffee. It's described as structured but agendaless.
Right, which sounds a bit contradictory at first.
It does, but the magic, or the structure, comes from how the agenda gets built. The participants do it, democratically, right there on the spot.
So the conversation automatically focuses on what the group collectively thinks is most important at that moment, not some list made days ago.
Exactly. And the origin story is pretty cool, actually. It wasn't, like, cooked up in some corporate strategy session.
No, not at all. It came out of Seattle back in 2009. Jim Benson and Jeremy Lightsmith, they were lean practitioners looking for a lighter way to discuss, lean thinking in knowledge work.
And the name Lean Coffee.
It's literal. They just started meeting up informally in local coffee shops. No big plan, no speakers lined up, just show up with ideas.
Wow. So the goal was super simple. Just talk, share ideas without all the usual meeting overhead.
Pretty much. Get rid of the heavy agendas, the complex logistics.
And clearly it struck a chord. What started as just, two guys in a coffee shop, it grew.
Massively. Now you find lean coffee groups all over the world. Physical meetups, online sessions. It just took off.
Which really says something about how much people needed this kind of approach.
That organic spread is telling.
Yeah.
But okay, how does this agendaless thing actually work in a structured way? You mentioned structure.
Right, okay. It hinges on a visual tool, basically a simple Kanban board.
Ah, like for project management. To do, doing, done.
Exactly like that. You've got your to-do column, that's for all the topics people want to discuss. Then doing for the one single topic you're talking about right now. And done for what's finished.
Okay, that makes sense. Visual flow.
And our sources mention a really good pro tip, adding an optional fourth column, actions. Great for capturing anything that needs follow-up.
Oh, I like that. So it's not just talk, you capture the what next.
Yep.
This visual thing, it makes the whole process transparent, doesn't it? Everyone sees where things stand.
Totally. It grounds the discussion. So how do you actually start one of these sessions? Setting the stage, right?
Yeah, step one.
You just need your board. Physical whiteboard, sticky notes, maybe just a wall, or an online digital board, obviously.
You need a theme?
You can have one. Sometimes a theme or a guiding question helps focus things, but honestly, it often works just fine, completely open, let the topics bubble up naturally.
Okay, board's ready. Then what?
Then it's idea time. Everyone gets a few minutes to brainstorm topics they want to discuss. Each idea goes on its own sticky note or digital card.
And the key here, I gather, is keeping those topic titles short and clear.
Yes, exactly.
Funny.
Concise, readable titles. Super important so everyone gets the gist quickly. All those notes then go straight into the to-do column.
Got it. Brainstorm, write it down, put it in to do.
Then the next step is crucial. Clarifying and grouping. Each person quickly explains their topic, like literally a sentence or two. Just enough context.
Okay, so everyone understands what's actually being proposed.
Right. And then, as a group, you look for overlaps. Maybe combine similar topics, get rid of duplicates.
Ah, so you clean it up before voting. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Prevents wasted votes or redundant chats.
Precisely. It builds that shared understanding. And then comes the real core of it, the democratic prioritization.
The voting. This is where the agenda emerges.
Yep. Everyone gets votes, usually 2 or 3. And you can put them anywhere. Spread them out or put all your votes on one topic if you feel really strongly about it.
So you signal your priorities.
Exactly. Then you just tally the votes, rank the topics by popularity. The top ones, maybe the top 3, 4, 5, depending on your meeting length, they move over to the doing column, usually ordered by votes.
And that's your agenda. Built by the group right there. Pretty powerful.
It really is. Then, to keep things moving, you bring in time boxing.
Ah, the timer. Crucial.
Totally. You start with the highest voted topic. Set a timer, maybe 5 minutes is common, or maybe a bit longer, like 8 or 10, if you have fewer topics overall.
And the facilitator's role here.
Key! They need to be neutral. Guide the conversation, keep it focused, make sure everyone gets a chance to speak, but gently stop anyone from, taking over.
So they manage the flow, not the content. And the time box creates that focus.
Exactly. It adds a bit of urgency, encourages people to be concise, get to the point.
Okay, timer goes off after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then what?
Pause. Quick check-in time. This is the Roman vote.
Roman vote. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
You got it. Thumbs up. I want to keep discussing this. Thumbs down. I'm done. Let's move on. Thumbs sideways. I'm neutral. Go with the majority.
Simple. Effective. So majority rules.
Yep. If most thumbs are up, you add more time, but usually a shorter block, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Keep it tight.
And if it's thumbs down or sideways mostly?
Then that topic is officially finished. Move the sticky note to the done column and immediately pick up the next highest voted topic from the doing list.
Okay, so it prevents discussions dragging on if the energy's gone. Keeps things moving.
Exactly. It ensures you're always talking about something the majority finds valuable right now.
And it just repeat that cycle. Discuss, time box, Roman vote, continue, or move on.
That's the iterative engine. Discuss, vote, discuss, vote. It keeps everything dynamic. Prevents getting bogged down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then how do you wrap things up effectively? Don't want to lose all the good ideas.
Good point. You need to dedicate a few minutes at the end. Summarize the key takeaways. What did we actually learn or decide?
And capture those action items, right? Maybe in that actions column.
Absolutely. Who's doing what by when? And definitely take a picture of the physical board or save the digital one. You need that record.
Right, so it leads to actual outcomes, not just a nice chat.
Exactly. That final step makes sure the conversation translates into something concrete. So yeah, the whole thing boils down to propose, vote, discuss. The agenda just emerges naturally.
It sounds simple, but I bet there are ways to make it run even smoother. Best practices.
Definitely. And the first one is maybe obvious but easily overlooked. Set clear expectations, especially with newbies.
Explain the rules up front.
Yeah, just take a minute. Here's how it works. You'll suggest topics. We'll vote. We'll time box. It just helps everyone relax and know how to participate. Reduces that initial confusion or anxiety.
Good point. Gets everyone on the same page. What else? Tools.
Choose the right tools for your context. In person, sticky notes, markers, a timer everyone can see, whiteboard or wall space, easy.
And virtual.
Need a good, simple, collaborative tool. Online whiteboard like Miro or Mural, maybe a Kanban app like Trello. And always, always do a quick tech check beforehand. Avoid those awkward "can you hear me" moments. Yeah, tech glitches can kill the flow. You mentioned concise topics before, seems important.
Super important. The sources really stress this. Succinct topic titles. Just a few words. It helps focus the discussion right from the start. Avoids rambling intros.
And that time boxing. Gotta be strict, right?
The non-negotiable, really. Discipline with the timer is kind of the secret sauce. Use a timer that's loud or very visible. It subtly trains the group to be efficient. Respect the time.
Makes sense. And the facilitator role, you said neutral.
Crucial. Facilitate, don't dominate. Their job is guiding the process, not controlling the content. Encourage quieter folks. Gently manage anyone talking too much. Ensure balance.
Okay. What about group size? Does it work with 50 people?
Probably not ideal. The sources suggest keeping it smaller, around 10 people or fewer is ideal. More than that, the conversation can get diluted.
So what if you do have a big group?
Best bet is probably to split into multiple, smaller, lean coffee groups running in parallel. Gives everyone a better chance to contribute.
Okay. Practical tip. And what about latecomers? Always happens.
Yeah. Handle them gracefully, quickly explain the format, maybe point them to the board. But usually you don't redo the voting or anything. Just let them jump into the current discussion. Keeps things moving.
Right. Respect the process that's already underway. And finally,
Always, always end with those actionable outcomes. Recap, assign actions, make sure next steps are clear, thank everyone. It turns the discussion into something tangible.
right. So it's not just floating ideas, it's driving towards something. Okay, so let's talk tools more specifically. You mentioned the basics.
Yeah, for physical, it's dead simple.
Uh-huh.
Sticky notes, pens, timer, maybe a whiteboard. Some people like using dot stickers for voting makes counting easy.
Low barrier to entry there. And digital. Trello seems like a natural fit.
It really is.
Yeah.
The columns map perfectly. To do, doing, done, add cards for topics. It even has a voting power-up you can add for easy prioritization. Great if you just need that core Kanban flow.
What about those online whiteboards? Miro, Mural, Jamboard?
Also, excellent choices. They offer more flexibility if you want to do more than just list topics, maybe mind maps, sketch ideas. They have digital sticky notes, often built-in voting features, even pre-made lean coffee templates sometimes. They really mimic that physical whiteboard feel.
So more of a visual canvas. Are there any tools just for lean coffee?
There are. Lean Coffee Table is it's a free web-based app specifically designed for this.
Yeah.
Very streamlined. And then tools like Retrium, which are broader retrospective tools, often include Lean Coffee as one of their formats. That one's usually subscription-based, though.
So options range from free and simple to more integrated paid tools.
Exactly. And whatever tool you use, just make sure you have a visible timer and a clear way to vote. Keep the text simple so it doesn't get in the way of the actual conversation.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, so we know what it is, how it works, best practices, tools. Now the big question, when and where do you actually use this? What are the killer use cases?
Oh, it's super versatile. One of the most common places is Agile team retrospectives.
Instead of the usual what went well, what didn't.
Exactly. Or maybe as part of that, teams use it to surface whatever topics are most pressing for them right now. Blockers, ideas for improvement, team dynamic stuff. It often replaces those kind of stale, repetitive retros or even standard staff meetings because the team decides the agenda.
I can see the appeal there. What else?
Knowledge sharing sessions. Think communities of practice, study groups, maybe internal guilds. It's perfect for informal learning.
Like an engineering group could use it.
Yeah, imagine engineers, designers, QAs, all throwing topics into the hat.
Yeah.
How do we handle this new library? Anyone else facing this bug, sharing tips on remote pair programming. The group votes, and you discuss what they actually want to learn or share. Genuine peer-to-peer knowledge transfer.
That sounds way more useful than a pre-canned presentation sometimes.
Definitely. And it connects back to its roots in meetups and conferences, the whole unconference idea.
Right, using it to kick off an event or fill open slots.
Exactly. It lets attendees drive the discussion, talk about what they came to learn or connect on. Great for networking and getting relevant conversations going quickly.
Okay, so team meetings, knowledge sharing, events. What about like project work, brainstorming?
Absolutely. Great for workshops, especially cross-team ones. Imagine you need input from different departments, sales, marketing, product on a problem.
Getting everyone in a room.
Use Lean Coffee. Everyone proposes their perspective, their pain points, their ideas. Then the group votes on what to tackle first. It helps break down silos and focuses on the most critical cross-functional issues.
So it helps prioritize across different viewpoints.
Nice. What about those meetings where the agenda is just fuzzy
Yeah.
or always changing?
Perfect fit. Manager town halls where you want genuine input. Recurring team check-ins where the hot topics shift week to week. Lean Coffee adapts. You don't waste time on outdated items. You talk about what's relevant now.
Yeah, that avoids the agenda item #5 update on Project X, which finished last month problem. Exactly. And maybe the biggest impact area. Replacing those meetings that are just bad, unproductive.
The ones we complained about at the start.
Those ones. Some places use Lean Coffee to totally replace ineffective status meetings, boring department updates. If a meeting feels like a waste of time, Lean Coffee can often inject energy and relevance because the participants themselves are setting the course. It boosts engagement like crazy.
So really, the takeaway is it's useful almost anywhere you want the group to drive the conversation.
Pretty much. Wherever you want a focused, time-efficient discussion driven by the actual participants. Especially in places that value collaboration, inclusion, getting everyone's voice heard, and being adaptable.
It taps into that collective intelligence, doesn't it? Rather than relying on one person to guess what's important.
Precisely. It shifts the ownership and ensures the time is spent on what genuinely matters to the people in the room, driving towards real outcomes.
So thinking about this, consider the meetings you attend. In your work, your volunteer groups, whatever. Which ones feel like a drag? Which ones lack focus or clear results?
Yet, which of those could be, maybe, completely transformed if you tried this Lean Coffee approach? Letting the group build the agenda on the fly.
It's a powerful thought, and maybe a final, bigger idea to chew on. If an agendaless meeting can work this well, just by trusting the group's intelligence, what else in our work, or even our lives, could benefit from that kind of emergent approach?
Right. Instead of sticking rigidly to a pre-made plan, where else can we benefit from building the path as we walk it together.